What's going on, chicken friends? It's Donna Little from the Coop Scoop. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. I'm out here in the chicken coop, guys, and I'm doing a little bit of work. I was just cleaning, and I can't even tell you how much easier it is to clean this coop with my new roost setup that I've got here. I just changed this out a couple of weeks ago, and I used to have a ladder system like this. Guys, take my advice. Plan your chicken coop. Plan it. Just, let me tell you how things went down here and why I'm making this video. This used to be my workshop. And when we decided that we would get chickens again, and we've had chickens off and on for 30 years, I had an old chicken coop that is now sort of in disrepair, and we just use it to store wood in now. We had started talking about getting chickens again a few years ago, and I said, we'll just use my workshop. It's insulated. It would make the perfect chicken coop. And so before we got chicks again, we did a renovation. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before, but our house is very, very old. It was built either in the late 1800s or early 1900s. So we've done several renovations, maybe 5, I think, on it. Each time, if we've opened up any walls, I've wanted to keep what was inside the walls, the beams and the wooden pegs and the handmade nails, and there's like lath on the wall behind the sheetrock. I wanted to keep all of that because it's old and valuable to me because it has sentimental value, but I also wanted to use it to like build things with, like this or this. And so when we did the last reno, we removed several walls. So I had a ton of material. The construction worker said to me, if there's anything here you want to keep, grab it up and go store it somewhere because we've got our dumpster coming tomorrow. So you've got one day. So I literally opened the door to my workshop and just threw stuff in. It was a disaster, and this is what it ended up looking like. So I was in the middle of a reno. I just thought, I can't deal with this right now. I just shut the door and left it. So when we finished renovating, I came out and I thought, now I got to tackle this. But if I want to use this as a chicken coop, and this was, I think, maybe late winter, and we were talking about getting chicks that spring, I thought, I don't have anywhere to put this stuff. So I started trying to organize, but it was almost like Tetris in here, like you could barely move. So my husband got up one morning, and it had, a couple of months had passed, and he said, let's go get chicks today. Now, I cannot be the voice of reason when it comes to animals. I just can't. I mean, if he walked out here right now and said, let's get in the car, we're going to go get a mini cow, I'm in the car. I don't know the first thing about taking care of a cow. I'd figure it out along the way. So I knew I had nowhere to put chicks, but I thought I'll just keep them in the bedroom for a little bit. We'll clean this out, even though I had nowhere to put anything. So we run to the farm store, and we bring home 8 adorable baby chicks. Now the clock is ticking. So I had nowhere. I literally had nowhere to put everything. So I sort of shoved everything to one end of this building, and I put a pen up in here, and after the chicks were maybe like 10 days, maybe 2 weeks old, I brought them out. It was a disaster in here. I mean, like, it was hard to walk past all of that stuff to even get to the chicks. So I had somebody come out, and we put this outside, this covered area outside of the coop, and I was able to start hauling the wood out. It was a lot. So by the time we had all of that cleared out and it was open and ready to be used as a chicken coop, the chicks were old enough. They needed roost bars. They were already roosting on the little, we had a little box for them that they used to snuggle down in. They were roosting on the edge of that. They were roosting on their feeders. We had to put roost bars in. And so my husband said, do you want to just do roost bars like we had in the old coop? And I was like, yeah, I don't even care at this point. I mean, we were just tired and ready to have everything done. This is the point of this video. Don't be me. Don't be me. Make plans. Even if you go to buy yourself a bag of dog food at Tractor Supply and you see those bins and they have adorable little chicks and you say to your significant other, let's bring some home. We have time, you know, to get a coop purchased or built. You don't have that much time because chickens grow insanely fast. You can go to bed one night and get up the next morning and they'll be bigger. And I'm not kidding. So you don't have a lot of time. So even if you don't have your coop, take the time to plan how you want it to be put together. It is important. I wish I had taken my own advice, because when we had the roost and they ran the entire length of the coop, I then had to crawl underneath them to pick up the poop. Now, I know everybody isn't going to be inclined to clean their coop every single day, and honestly, it's probably not that necessary, but it is necessary to do it frequently so your chickens live in a healthy environment. Now, my chickens are my pets. I love them. I spend time with them every day. I'm out sitting on the ground. They're on my lap. I understand not everybody wants that. They're not looking for that. If you get chickens, sometimes you just want them to lay eggs for you, or you get meat birds and you want them to provide food for your family via meat. You still want to protect your investment. You still want them in a healthy environment. If you let the poop sit, it creates ammonia. Then you're asking for respiratory issues or more parasites. You want to be able to keep your birds healthy, whatever the reason, whether it's for your investment or because you love them like I love mine as pets. So it was a little bit of a pain in the butt, and all I would think over the length of time that we've had it set up like that is, why did I not plan better? Because now I have money invested and a whole lot of time invested in not just the building of my roost, but the crawling around underneath them to clean it every day. So I don't know, it was maybe a couple of months ago, maybe a little bit longer, I went online and I was on Pinterest, and I happened to see this kind of setup. It wasn't exactly like this, but it was, the design was this was the general gist of it. I thought, that is a brilliant idea. So I started doing a little bit more research. You know, that thing that I should have done before I did anything else in here, I did not do that. Don't be me. I just don't. So I ended up looking, and then I also read comments. So I went on YouTube, Googled it, Instagram, and I looked at the comments, because that's where you're going to get all those little nuggets of good information, because these are the people, not just the content creator that's showing you what they did, but it's going to be all those people that have either done this and love it or don't like it, and you can pick up all kinds of information that way. I didn't see anybody say anything bad about building a roost like this. So unfortunately for me, I had to take all of my roosts down, and I actually will link the video. We did a video about taking them down and building these. I'll link the video in here. But I wish I'd have done it. This has been an absolute game changer, and it's been for several reasons. Not just how quick I can clean it, but when I had the ladder system, there was a whole lot more fighting between the chickens on the roost bar. Whoever got up top first, and trust me, if you've never had chickens before, everybody wants to be as high as they can possibly get. Everybody. So everybody wanted it on the top rung. Whoever was coming up after the other chickens were already up, were getting pecked and beaten up. There was a lot of squabbling, and I also only had one bar that was the top rung, obviously, that ran the entire length of this. So now I have doubled my roost space because I'm able to put two of them here. They're spaced far enough apart where nobody really bothers anybody, and they're all on the same level. Nobody is higher, or lower. It has cut down on the fighting. This is sand, and I just scoop it like a litter box. I can scoop this entire length of this, and it's 20 feet total. This is 16 feet, what you're seeing here, and then I've got a separate one that's 4 feet long, so I can enclose it in a brooder. 3-4 minutes, it's done. So if you're somebody that has children and you're busy all the time, running here and there, or you have that full-time job, and it's difficult, if you really, really do want to keep your birds in a healthy environment, research this, look into something like this, because it's going to make that job easy. There's probably not anybody that doesn't have 3 or 4 minutes to come out and get that up so that you're not having an ammonia buildup in your coop, so you can keep a good, healthy environment for your chickens. I might do something different with my nest boxes. They're actually fine like they are, but I think I might try now tucking some up underneath this and see, because they do tend to like a little bit more privacy. So I might do that down the road. That's not something that I've got to do right now, but it has absolutely been a game changer to have this set up instead of the roost bars that I used to have. And another thing that I have loved is when they're sitting on the bars, they're pooping, you know, whatever direction they're sitting in, they're pooping beside it. When I had the other setup, like the ladder, if they faced the wall, they were pooping on the rung below them. Not always, but that would then create more work for me to clean that, because, you know, if you don't get it right away, then it's stuck on there, and it was just, I don't like it to be nasty in here. I'm not a germaphobe. I'm not out here scrubbing the place down every day, but I don't want it to be nasty and dirty. I don't want to invite a whole bunch of flies in here, and I don't want to invite, you know, parasites of all kinds. So that is my word of advice for today, is if you are planning to get chicks this year, before you do it, just take a few days and research options, nest box options, where you want your roost to be, and versus where the nest boxes are, because there's not a lot to a chicken coop. It basically is just roosts, nest boxes. But if you take the time to design it the way you want it, it is going to make all the difference in the world, and how easy or difficult it is to take care of. So that's kind of all I got for today, guys. I hope that you will stick around. If you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will. We've got chicks coming in June, and I know you're going to want to see those. They're going to be absolutely adorable, and watch them grow and become a member of our family. So have a fantastic day, guys, and I will see you in the next video.